Hello, I'm Harnaik Dhami, and I will be discussing our group's work on using a UAV-mounted 3D LiDAR to estimate plant height. The goal of our project was to make use of newer technologies to automate dull tasks that are performed by farmers. Particularly, we wanted to help in the area of crop height estimation. Accurately measuring the heights of plants can be a manually intensive task. We specifically looked at row-based crops that are used for phenotyping and that were structurally aligned within plots. Our work has two main contributions. The first is a suite of point cloud tools for use with a 3D LiDAR sensor to process data. We also created a tool chain to generate virtual plot-based farms that have a varying ground terrain that can be manipulated with parameters. Our UAV frame was the DJI M600 Pro. Our onboard computer was an NVIDIA Jetson TX2. We also mounted a Velodyne VLP-16 3D LiDAR. The algorithm can be broken down into multiple stages. We take the 3D LiDAR scans and drone location as input and then transform them to a world frame. Then we stitch together a world map. Once the data has been filtered, we use the k-means clustering algorithm to determine the plot locations. With these clusters, the bounding boxes around each plot are found. Lastly, the height of each plot is estimated. Here on the left, we see the flight of the drone over a wheat field. The video on the right highlights the open loop map building. These images show the plot clustering. On the left, we have the bounding boxes after the k-means clustering. Using a voting scheme to find the best fit box, the aligned bounding boxes are shown on the right. These aligned boxes are then extended half a meter along the y-axis to cover the ground. A best fit plane is then used to determine the ground, which allows finding the height of any points not a part of the ground. This video highlights a flight over one of the farms created using the simulation pipeline. We use the same height estimation pipeline for the simulated farms. On the left, we show an overhead image of one of the simulated farms with a variable ground terrain. The right shows the output after the data filtering step of the pipeline. The left chart shows the results from the real-world wheat flight. We used three schemes for the height estimation algorithm. The first is to use just the voxel filtering data. Voxel filtering averages all the LiDAR points within a cube. This causes an underestimation of the data, as can be seen in the top left with an average percent difference of plus or minus 13.4%. Using only unfiltered data was noisier and increased the average percent difference to plus or minus 13.8%, as shown in the middle left. To combat the noise, using the 99.5th percentile max height, as shown on the bottom left, resulted in an average percent difference of just plus or minus 5.4%, with a root mean square error of 6.1 centimeters. On the right-hand side, we show the results from the simulated farms. Expectedly, as the ground becomes less flat and more variable, the RMSE of the algorithm increases. Thank you for listening to our presentation. The work discussed has been accepted to IRAS 2020. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at the provided email address.